Well, there's many it's almost like layers of an onion, and then you can see we're just on the outer layer, because if we're just doing the structural element to start with, and we're now going to the next layer where we're bringing in the key elements of MVH.
Yes.
And then Oliver mentioned about, well, how do we bring crash in? That feels like the next layer. And then what you need to do is to have an approach from the inside out as well, where everyone else is, because the tool sets are becoming more accessible.
Yeah.
More people will be able to access it. So they start, for example, designing a seat with the master car in mind, and all those interactions, and you kind of get to a point, it's almost like the Internet of Things, where it gets to this sort of super massive element where it all just joins together and there's very little unknown space. That's my vision of it, but the reality is there's a lot of challenges, a lot of pressures on the automotive industry, and we can't also just go after academic excellence. We need to do enough to get the car out quickly. So there's a balance, as always. So I think it's helpful because although we're a very big company, we try and retain some of that nimbleness of how we were as a smaller company. And we've got quite a fast decision-making process, in as much as our executives are engineers, and that helps. And so if we can bring good data in front of them to aid with decision making, then we can keep that nimbleness. And the other really important thing is something I'm quite passionate about, and a lot of people who work at Jaguar Land Rover are as well. We want to put our customers first, and so we're an attribute driven company, and obviously Land Rover and Jaguar have different attributes they need to fulfill. But CE toolsets enable us to protect those attributes. You know, if we've got the off-road capability, clearly we can distill that into fundamentals of torque, stresses, loads, and then on Jaguar, the ability to drive around corners, really engaging the customer, just like you heard with Robot Bike Company. The stiffnesses and that response, which they've found, and we obviously have enshrined in that core DNA. So I think the CE toolsets, which enable us to protect that, whilst having all the benefits we need to get, we need to be lighter, faster to production, cheaper to be competitive. I think the value of it is extraordinary when you bring it all the way through, because if you just do it in isolation in one instance in your journey, you won't achieve it, because you'll only ever optimise for the parameters you put on it at that one point in time, and everything you do after that will erode that optimum state you found. So what you need to do is to actually live the journey, and the whole process needs to go through the optimisation. And what we found in our more challenging projects, but our more successful projects, is actually we flipped the design process on its head, and we put epic amount of effort in at the beginning and really did a load of head scratching. And we took a little bit of time to make the optimizer work, because it's the first time we did it, but then when we did, it kind of just didn't need to do a lot, because the output of it was so near to the end point that it was really value add. So it was a good story actually. We had an Innovate UK project, and an optimisation partner pulled out, and you guys stepped in. It helped as well, locality. You guys been based in Leamington, just down the road from where Gaydon are, and that started the relationship with myself, and then the ease of working and the openness to change was evident, and they are so important characteristics to have in doing research, successful research projects, and just found it really easy to do work with them, and also quite respectful of the knowledge and capability which GRM have in optimisation. And the other bit which is really powerful is because they got such a close working relationship with Vanderplats, you're actually seeing the tool set evolve. And you, just like again the robot bike company, we were almost getting a customized optimization tool set, which not only was that cool, it was being driven by the people who knew exactly how to do it. And that's what really became my realization, that optimization isn't a tool set. Optimization is a process which people live, and the most successful ones is when you can bring all the stakeholders together. And some of those stakeholders are different tool sets and different data sets, so they're not always just humans. And the humans and the tool sets and the data all need to find ways of communicating with each other. So actually it was more of an exercise in communication. And then at the end, when everything was communicating well, we could just let a very powerful optimizer chug away for a couple of days, and even to the extent that we were able to run the bigger stuff at Jaguar Land Rover's computers, because we've got some pretty big computers, as you can imagine. And so it's actually teleportable. You know, the intelligence wasn't by any means on the computer. So